At just 20 years old, he became king. By 30, he had conquered most of the known world. He was never defeated in battle. His name was Alexander the Great, a man who reshaped history in just over a decade. But who was he really? A military genius, a ruthless conqueror, or a visionary who dreamed of uniting the world? This is the story of the king who refused to accept the limits of his world and tried to conquer it instead. Alexander was born in 356 BC in Macedon, a kingdom north of Greece. His father, King Philip II, was already transforming Macedon into a powerful military state. But it was Alexander who would take that power beyond imagination. From a young age, he was trained for greatness. His tutor was none other than the philosopher Aristotle. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied philosophy, science, medicine, and literature. He grew up believing in destiny and in his own extraordinary potential. When his father was assassinated in 336 BC, Alexander became king at only 20 years old. Many believed he was too young to rule. They were wrong. Almost immediately, he faced rebellions. Greek city-states tried to break away from Macedonian control. Alexander responded swiftly and decisively. The city of Thebes revolted, and Alexander destroyed it completely. It was a brutal message. He would tolerate no opposition. Then he turned his eyes east. His greatest ambition was to defeat the Persian Empire, the largest and most powerful empire of its time. In 334 BC, Alexander crossed into Asia Minor with around 40,000 soldiers. He faced the Persian king Darius III at the Battle of Issus. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander used speed, precision, and bold tactics to break the Persian lines. He did not fight cautiously. He led from the front. He personally charged into battle, targeting enemy leadership. His strategy was simple but daring: strike at the heart. After defeating Darius again at the Battle of Gaugamela, the Persian Empire collapsed. Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis fell into his hands. The wealth of Persia now belonged to him. But Alexander did not stop. He pushed further east, into Egypt, where he was declared a pharaoh and even worshipped as a god. He founded the city of Alexandria, which would become one of the greatest cultural centers of the ancient world. Then he marched into Central Asia and eventually into India. His army, exhausted and far from home, began to question the endless campaigns. For the first time, Alexander faced resistance, not from enemies, but from his own men. In 326 BC, after years of constant warfare, his soldiers refused to go further. Reluctantly, Alexander agreed to turn back. He had built an empire stretching from Greece to the borders of India, one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, and he was only 32 years old. Alexander was more than a conqueror. He encouraged cultural integration. He adopted elements of Persian dress and customs. He married Roxana of Bactria and encouraged his officers to marry Persian women. He envisioned a fusion of cultures, a new kind of empire. Yet he could also be ruthless and unpredictable. In moments of anger, he executed close companions. He demanded loyalty and sometimes worship. Was he a visionary unifier or a man consumed by ambition? History still debates. In 323 BC, in Babylon, Alexander fell ill and died suddenly. Some say fever, others suspect poisoning. The truth remains uncertain. He left behind no clear heir. His empire fractured almost immediately after his death, divided among his generals. But his impact endured. The Hellenistic age began, spreading Greek culture, language, art, and ideas across 3 continents. Cities he founded flourished for centuries. Trade routes expanded, knowledge spread. In just over a decade, Alexander changed the political and cultural map of the world. He did not simply conquer lands, he connected civilizations. And more than 2,000 years later, his name still echoes through history. Alexander the Great, a king who believed the world was not enough. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below who you want next.